Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Aquarius. So Aquarius, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So Aquarius, you have a serious message today. This is the very first piece of message that I got with the very first card, and I'm going to show you in a second, but it's interesting because this seriousness in your reading seems to be coming from somewhere else or somebody else, to you, to your mind, to maybe your sense of duty or responsibility or commitment to a certain faith. It's actually how it's coming through. So it could be family, and family is a big part of your reading, but it could be just, to be honest, religious factors. It's specifically how I'm seeing. So maybe family expecting that you're going to, keep with traditions and follow through with, the religious path of the family. And I feel like you're breaking through that, and it feels scary and very serious to you because it's like there is something pulling you towards a more philosophical exploration or a more open-minded type of knowledge that connects you with the divine without without another, right? Without some sort of bridge that is acting as, the middle ground, right? It's like perhaps you want to experience directly, the power of the universe and the wisdom of the cosmos, and you're trying to align with that. But aligning with that means that you disalign with what you're used to following or what you're used to believing, and where you feel comfortable, where you feel like you are welcome, right, in this familiar environment, which feels also very serious but also very cozy because it's what you know. Okay, so we're beginning with the Hierophant. And the way that this Hierophant fell on the ground, it was very gentle, but it was very funny because it stood like this on the ground for, a few seconds facing me. So it was almost like a very strong presence, a very dominant presence here saying, Aquarius, this is serious. It's like we have to talk about this. There's something that is serious that needs to, needs like more thought or more it's like there is something that you are feeling, the weight on your shoulders of this responsibility, of this. It's coming through heavily as religion, right? A religious factor that is weighing you down because of the seriousness, because of how this makes you feel tied or makes you feel like you want to feel free, like you want to liberate yourself from a specific way that you recognize yourself or that you feel about yourself with the Five of Swords, right? The five being this individuality. So, but being the Five of Swords, there is this, it's starting to become very uncomfortable, like a place that you couldn't stay there for long, right? Because, it's like that type of, the image that I'm receiving now, it's like, that type of very, rigid chair that it's not comfortable at all, right? And the longer you stay there, the more uncomfortable it becomes, because not only the place itself seems to be very rigid, or seems to be very sharp, you know, because of the swords, or too maybe too hostile is what I just heard. But there's also something about the weight on your shoulders of the duty, of the responsibility of, you know, maybe having to answer to some sort of, you know, priest or priestess, or, you know, or whomever this Hierophant is representing for you, Aquarius. It seems like an authority of some kind, right? Whether this is in your personal life, in, you know, the religious person that you look up to, right? It doesn't need to be like, you know, from a church or something like that. It could be just, you know, somebody that you trust, that you have a lot of faith in, right? That you trust a lot in. So in a sense, you look up to them. It's like this is the person that you usually go to ask for guidance, to ask for advice. And it's like maybe that's the thing. It's like maybe they are, and yes, this is very personified today, even though generally the major arcana are, you know, more expensive than, you know, being personified. But today this Hierophant is coming very personified because it's the contrast with what's coming next, right? So it may become very perceivable to you, Aquarius, that it's not just that this spot for you feels like it doesn't fit you or it doesn't suit you anymore, but it's becoming very clear to you that you want to free your mind from those dogmatic beliefs or from those advices, right? It's almost like this person has become such, you know, a trusty person, right? Like they know that whenever you need, you know, advice, that they are the person that you go to. The moment that you maybe act in a way that you're not comfortable anymore with their advice, with their ideas, with their guidance, then it's almost like they grow, right? It's like they want to show their power. They want to exercise whatever authority, power they have over you, right? And so that is making you feel even more uncomfortable, because I feel like before, Aquarius, it used to be very cozy. It used to be like a family, right? The Ten of Cups symbolizing the family. And you see here how there is, you know, this Five of Swords that feels a little bit detached. And here there are two other fives, right? So I feel like, you know, there was a time, perhaps, you know, maybe not that long ago, that you felt like you were part of this family, that you were, you know, that you belonged, right? That you felt welcomed, that you felt cozy, that you felt like you wanted to be there, right? Because it felt good. You were supported, you were shown respect and love, and, you know, all of those good feelings, right? Just like a family. But more and more so with the Nine of Swords afterwards, it feels like you are not seeing yourself as belonging to this family anymore, right? However you want to understand this family label as. It doesn't need to be your actual family. It could be, you know, a group of friends that you consider like a second family, for instance. But with the Nine of Swords, the way that I'm seeing this, it's like you see how your energy right now, it's so different from theirs, or it's like how maybe this one is trying to impose some sort of authority that is making you want to leave, right? The way that I'm seeing this, it's like, you know, if this is, you know, a table, a dinner table, then everyone is mingling so well. It's like, you know, there is this cozy environment, but then you are the strange one. You are that, the one that, you know, does not fit in the room, right? It's like you just leave. I'm seeing you, it's like you pick up and leave, right? And it's hard for you. It's hard for you. That's the thing. You see this as something that, you know, has weight on it, right? It's like you are feeling weighed down because of this discomfort, right? Maybe you wanted to belong. Maybe you did really trust this person, but for some reason, it's like you, in your mind, you just don't feel like maybe you're welcome anymore, or maybe you just want to explore something that makes you feel good, but without the imposition of needing to follow a certain tradition or needing to follow, you know, maybe the guidance, right? It's like to have freedom to ask for guidance, but, you know, judge for yourself or consider for yourself whether or not you want to follow through with the advice, right? It's like, it's not because you're going for them to ask for help that necessarily you have to do what they're saying, but it feels a little bit what they are expecting from you. And this is, I feel like, the main source of discomfort for you, and this is what is making you leave, even though it is hard, right? Because it's almost like turning your back on your family, and it doesn't feel good at all. But I feel like the moment that you leave, because it feels like, okay, you're coming here with these swords, right? And the swords in traditional tarot can be very uncomfortable, can be very you know, like being uh I don't want to use the word that I'm thinking of right now because it's not that dramatic, but, you know, maybe if you leave, you'll know that these ones here will feel like you have betrayed them, like you have, you know, misled them, or, you know, you, it's like you're going to become, you know, this um the one that strayed away, right? The one that, you know, um separated from the group, right? So there's something that you, it's like you're considering a lot, how the group, how the family, how your friends will think about you or think about your actions or your decisions, of, you know, leaving, right? Leaving the room without even knowing that inside your mind you are, you know, it's like you have all of these nightmares, all of these negative thoughts, all of, you know, the weight on your shoulder, right? But the reason why you're leaving, I want to say, Aquarius, is because what you want is a place where, yes, you are welcome, but also that is exciting for you, that is, it's almost like, okay, so the Four of Wands here is talking about a box, but a box that has, you know, a permeable limit, right? It's like, it's not a rigid boundary. It's not something that if you don't follow the tradition, then you're going to be cast away, perhaps. Or it's like you won't be as welcome as before, right? It's like you want a place, an altar is actually how I'm seeing the Four of Wands, where you can come in and out with more freedom, right? Without the the expectation that you need to always be there, that you need to always, you know, follow whatever everyone is saying that is good for you, right? It's like you have to be, you want to have freedom of choice independent of who is giving you the advice, right? It seems like you, it's like you want to think for yourself. That's the reason why you're choosing, even, you know, if this is the hardest way, it's like you want a place where you have some structure but is a permeable boundary, right? It's like where you can come in and out of this altar as you wish, as you want, you know. And this feels more aligned with you. This feels like the difference between the expectation of what you're meant to be doing, you know, to follow the tradition, to follow the guidance, and how the Wheel of Fortune is also showing, you know, the cross here and the X here, which, you know, if we just rotate it, they would be in the same position, right? But because there's something that is slightly different, it changes everything. And it changes everything because for you, it feels more aligned. It feels more in tune with what you desire right now, because the fiery element of the Four of Wands seems to be something that is more alive, right? It's like here, things are more of the same, right? It's like, yes, it's cozy. Yes, it's very welcoming, or it has been very welcoming until now, and very loving and very kind and very receptive. But to be honest, a little bit of um, not stale, but maybe too outdated, or maybe too yeah, it's like you want fresh air, right? You need fresh air, even though leaving this group or leaving this religion or leaving this hierophant, right? Or whatever they are expecting you to follow through with the traditions, there's something that you want more freedom, because you need, it's almost like you need to be aligned with the truth of your being, right? With the authenticity of how you are supposed to find magic in other discoveries, right? Outside of this group. Because the magician here is talking about all of the things that you haven't seen, all of the things that you have yet to experience, right? I often say that this magician, like this upright, is holding a lot of magic inside of the hat, right? And I feel like the more that you align with this, the more that you discover that there is another altar, right? If this is like religion, right? There is another way to worship God, to worship the cosmos, to it's like exercise your faith, right? Because the weight on your shoulder is the commitment that, you know, this hierophant could have been, you know, imposing or asking from you, that was too overbearing, right? It's like in order to reach, you know, enlightenment, or, you know, forgiveness, perhaps, you know, depending on your beliefs or the beliefs of your family, right? This might be like, you know, you need the hierophant in order to receive the right guidance, right? So that was weighing you down, right? The duty, the responsibility. Here, the way that you want to explore even like your spirituality, I want to say, Aquarius, is a lot more magical, and seeing things that you haven't seen, right? Because so far it seems like it's more of the same. It's like you know exactly how the dynamic is going to play out in this setting, right? With this family, with this group, you know, under the authority of the hierophant. And so here you want a more permeable altar that you can go and connect and sit there yourself, right? It's like, maybe that's the thing. It's like the hierophant won't leave the altar because this is what gives them the authority, and what you want is like an altar for yourself. So the way that I'm seeing this is more like an organic type of communion with God, with the universe, however you want to call this, right? So it's like this organic altar that is in alignment with what you're supposed to experience right now, because you're seeing glimpses of it, and it's enticing to you, right? It's like it's intriguing, and it's just catching your interest, your curiosity, your eye, and you want to know more. You want to, it's like expand your horizons in a sense, but it's like in a more spiritual or maybe mental perception, right, of what is the divine, what is like this cosmos, what is this universe that is connecting to you or with you directly, right? There is no longer the necessity to have this middle person that is serving as this moderator, or intermediary, like the person in between, right? The person that is going to translate the guidance. It's like now you want freedom to connect directly, to receive direct guidance, to see the magic unfold in front of your eyes in a way that you're going to be experiencing, this universal magic, right? Because you are in alignment, because you have slightly turned this key of the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's like you're diverging slightly from this belief, right? From this guidance. And that opens up a doorway to something that it's like so far you didn't even know that existed, right? So it's like learning about something new that you didn't even know was there, right? Was part of this immense universe, right? So it's intriguing, even though there is this moment of sadness and, just weighing you down, right? When you departure, when you choose to leave. But I feel like the end here is talking about how much bigger of this understanding of what the universe is beyond the guidance of the Hierophant, right? You're realizing that you don't need that anymore, that you can connect directly. So Aquarius, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.